What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another review here at Big Gold Bell Media. I am Cam from Cam's Collection. We got Damian G over here for the Damian G Show, as well as Stevie. We're back for another recap of Gen V Season 2, premiering September 17th for a 3-episode premiere only on Prime Video. And this was a lot. This is a lot to unpack for, I think, for all of us. These were some lengthy episodes. Each one was an hour. I believe they're going to be an hour each for the rest of the season. I believe the season has a total of 8 episodes. I mean, they're doing a lot in these first couple episodes. Let me just throw together, guys. What would you rank these episodes? We're just going to go straight into it with the ranking at this point. I'm going to start with you, Stevie. How would you categorize these first 3 episodes, 1 through 10?
I would say that these were like an 8. I did like them. Yeah, I did like them. Yeah. To start off, I thought they were good.
Strong, solid start for Gen V Season 2. Okay. How about you, Damien?
We're going to go down the line. Episode 1 gets an 8. Episode 2 gets a 6.5. And episode 3 gets about a 7.
Okay.
They came in like a wrecking ball, and then
so you're like a 6.5 medium then, right?
You know me well enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, so I'm going to put all the episodes together, and I would say it was, for me, it was a solid 7, I would say. I feel like the first episode was a really strong start. Second episode, it dragged out a bit. We didn't really see like much powers or anything like that. But then episode 3 kind of came in strong with the shock value of, okay, what's going to happen in episode 4? But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So this season kind of starts off and we get to learn a little bit more of the history of Dr. Thomas Godolkin, the founder of Godolkin University, and what type of trials and tests they were, performing. Gen V and the boys on Amazon Prime always throws in a shock factor anytime you're watching the first scene, right? Were you guys surprised at when we're seeing all these scientists and were they injecting themselves with
probably compound V?
With V, compound V, right? Like I guess the original compound V, right? They were like patient zeros out here. How bad did you think it was gonna go? We knew it was gonna hit the fan, right? But how bad did you think it was gonna go? It was gonna get that bad.
I thought it was gonna go bad. I mean, it's the boys. Like they always gotta do something crazy.
Right.
Like always with compound V too. Like
it just never goes right. What, Damien, what part were you most shocked about? I guess you could say. I probably know what part you were talking about.
This is a spoilers, right? We can do spoilers on this one?
Yeah, you just was full recap.
Yeah. Anal octopus.
Oh my God, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. That was the worst.
That was the worst one because I'm like, oh no.
Man, can't come back from that,
No.
I mean,
no.
He could, but not really. Like, and I think honestly, this season had a lot of rear things going on, like in the whole entire the whole season. Like each episode had something about it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Stuff.
I guess that's funny for people. I don't know.
Yeah.
No judgment. Hey man, no judgment. If you like anal play, good for you. But a lot of anal this first 3 episodes.
Yeah. I think for me it was more of a shock. It wasn't like oh my God, like it was like, is he okay? Like, is he good? So we kind of get like they always give you like a recap or whole spill about what happened in season 1, and they did that pretty specific as far as they wanted to highlight Newman's death as well as what was happening with the Guardians of Godolkin, they're calling him. We get to see now that there is a new dean that's stepping in place of Newman. His name is Cipher, and he is played by Hamish Linklater. And he is supposedly the man and the backbone of the student body at the school now. We get to see that Jordan and Emma are now being transported from this prison that they're in right now and then taken away to a location they're not sure. And then eventually at the end of the road, they end up bumping into Cate. Cate is the one who actually got them out of being in prison this whole entire time. And this is when the story kind of comes full circle because we kind of figure out what happens to Andre's character. Unfortunately, before season 2 was actually shot, we know that the late Chance Perdomo actually passed away in a motorcycle accident. So we all try to figure out what was going to happen to that character of Andre going into season 2. Are you kind of satisfied and happy how they kind of wrote in this character, but without writing him off completely? I'm gonna start with you, Damien.
Well, the way they introed it, it was with an air of mystery, right? When people kept talking about it and they reference Andre's dead, but throughout the first episode, they don't say why until the end, right? Until we get to Jordan's speech. So for me, that first 10, 15 minutes, I'm thinking, wait, are we going to like stretch this out the entire season as to how Andre died? And I thought that's what they were going to do, because it would make the most sense if you're dedicating the season to Chance. Right. But I think the way they went about it was the best possible way you could have done it with the material you're given. Prime example, how we were left off. We were left off at the end of season 1. They're all in the asylum, no doors. So you're thinking, how the hell did Marie get out? How the hell did they all get out? But the way it was said, the way it was told, and going out like a heroic badass off screen, I think that is the best way they could have done that for the character. If anything, there will probably be some more gaps to fill as far as what happened in between, being abducted and his untimely demise in the show. Right. So I want to see if they come back to that. And it isn't just, hey, the first 3 episodes, we're going to talk about Andre, and then 4 through the rest is like, we're good. We said enough. Right. So I'll be curious to see if it's a continual thing the rest of the season.
Yeah. How about you, Stevie?
Yeah, I liked it, especially for what they were able to do. Like, it's sad when somebody dies so young and untimely and stuff like that, and trying to figure out what they're going to do for the next season. I do think that they are going to continue with his story, like throughout the whole season. Like, I feel like that's going to be like a real driving force for the characters to do like what they do and to get through it. So, and it's a way to keep him involved in the story without him actually being here. So, it's cool.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I feel like it's a great way to kind of carry on his legacy, as well as, give the character kind of a finale, if not, along with his father, Polarity, kind of carry on that whole subject matter of why he did the things for his son, and why, this was the right choice to do things, a certain way without giving it away. So they now are seeing that Emma and Jordan are going to be accepted back in Vought University. Oh, I'm sorry, not Godolkin University. And the only thing they have to do is basically give a speech of like why they were really not the people that actually set up the whole entire attack on the campus. So it's basically just a cop out, to basically save face for Vought once again. And for them not to sit there in prison and rot, I mean, they took the bait, right? I mean, I think a lot of people would, after suffering that long, and especially the trauma of being in there when Andre, died. I would probably have took it too, to be free. So in this one, we really get to see that the Guardians are kind of really the masterminds, or not the masterminds, but the head of the whole entire campus, right? And in doing so, the first person that Emma actually runs into, or actually goes to visit, is Andre's father, who's grieving, and he's grieving in the bottle, right? And with the Macallan 12, first off, which is a great brand, by the way. This is not sponsored by them, but I was like, he's got good taste in scotch. If you're gonna drink something, that's really good. My goodness.
He can afford it.
Yeah, he's got the money for sure with all those movies he put together. And Polarity kind of really just pushes away Emma, in the most unapproachable type way, because he's still grieving, and Emma kind of gives him a words of encouragement that, your son taught so highly of you, maybe you should do something about it instead of sitting here and drinking your life away. I don't think there's much to really touch on that subject, but I think more of the subject, what we're looking for, is where's Marie in all this, right?
Yep.
And we start to find out that Marie is the only one that actually escaped. And in the first escape, she got out, like Damien pointed to. And then in the second escape attempt, Andre was the one that passed away because his powers weren't sufficient enough to be able to pull open the door, and he stroked out, I guess you can say, trying to open up that metal door that he couldn't open up the hatch. And now Vought has, or either I think Godolkin University has now sent someone to go find Marie, and they use a character or a superhero named Dognot, right? Super weird. I thought he basically has like dog smelling.
He's Dog the
ability.
Bounty Hunter.
Yeah,
Literally.
Dog the Bounty Hunter, but he can like sniff his way to find people. And I think it was like a bag of chips that like Marie had touched in the convenience store, and he tracked it down and smelled it. But when he saw that dog across the street and was like, "You're a sexy girl" or whatever, it's not the words he exactly used. I was like, "Uh-oh." If we know the boys, we like, "Uh-oh, we about to
that dog.
I was like, they about to cross the line. I said, man, said the animal, the cruelty to animals people.
PETA.
I'm after them for this one. My God, PETA's on there. Ask for this. So it kind of cuts back, and we get to see now that Marie is still, she's trying to basically live her life on her own and still track down her sister, right? But at the same time, she's on the run and she really doesn't have money. So there's a nice like Samaritan who she finds out is a supporter of Starlight that kind of helps her get food, right? Because she doesn't have the bread. He just did it the kindness of his heart, right? And we find out later on that he suffers just being a nice guy. This nice guy's finished last once again. Great.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Yep, cooked. So I guess they're sitting there, and she bumps into them, and he's having, or his group of friends are having an argument with some Homelander supporters at a bus stop, right? And I'm like, what are they doing at this bus stop? First off, in my head, I'm like, the Starlight people are just like at the bus stop, like
picketing at a bus stop.
Yeah. I'm like, what are y'all doing there? Go home. Homelander people, of course, they pulling up and pick up trucks. I'm like, all right, this seems like a type of person they're trying to push here.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And they pull up and they start picking on the guy that actually, specifically the guy that helped Marie get food. And Marie, of course, steps up and beats everybody's ass because that's just what type of person she is. She even tells him like, you don't want this. And he, of course, punches her in the face. This being one of our very first fight scenes, how do you think it held up to kind of set the tone for this season? I'll start with you, Stevie.
I mean, like, I feel like it's the same. Like, I feel like it was like I feel like that they're really gonna build up her powers like later, especially what you see in the next 2 episodes. Like, I feel like she's gonna get a lot stronger because she has like a really strong superpower or bot power or whatever they are, so I feel like that this was pretty similar to maybe to some of the stuff that she's doing before, but I feel like that's maybe to show that like where she started and where she's gonna go, so but it was a good fight scene for the beginning.
For sure. What about you, Damien?
I thought it was great progression of using her powers from season 1 and using it in a way where it wasn't just, she was trying not to kill them, right? Even though she said, you don't want none of this. But the inventiveness of how she used her powers to either A, make a whip, B, cut a person's face off or cut their arm so she could use more blood to her advantage. So we don't have to just rely on her using her own blood, which is brought up in later episodes in the first 3. So I thought it was an inventive way to use her powers. And I just kept thinking, if I'm these chucks getting my ass kicked, I'm thinking, is this woman's blood in my mouth right now? Like, what is happening? I'm getting my ass beat by blood. So you know what? Good for you, dude. That's what you get for messing with peaceful protest. That's what you get. Bunch of chucks.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but I think it was a really cool fight scene that they kind of, like you said, they are definitely exploring her powers more. Because I believe she has the same powers as Newman, right? Or at least they say they had somewhat similar powers between the two, right? And of course, Newman is gone, and Marie just seems like, I don't know, she just might be the champ for the rest. I mean, for coming up in the rest of the season, but we're gonna see how it goes. So we kind of pan back and we see that there is a fraternity on campus. This is kind of like not really relevant, but we do see a God, what was the dude's name? He was the invisible guy and he got his dick blown off. I can't remember his name, but he is the creepy dude that's on the show, and he's like the leader of the
what was his name?
fraternity.
Like Rufus or something like that?
Rufus.
The
Rufus,
blonde
Rufus.
guy?
That's right. Yeah, Rufus. Rufus.
Oh,
fuck him.
Yeah. So Rufus is like showing them the camp, not the campus, but the fraternity housing, since it's off campus, to these girls. And we look on the wall, and he's saluting somebody like, "This is our what do they call him? Not like our big brother, but like our fraternity leader. I think it's like our fraternity leader." And you look and you see it's Kevin Cower, who is the Deep, and he's like on there for like 5 years running. And I'm like, all right, there's our first glimpse, of the boys coming to fruition on Gen V, which I thought was a cool little thing. I mean, of course, there's a lot of drinking. There's the butt guy with the chug. I was like,
chug dude, that's a problem. That's a no-go for me.
I'm like, who are you?
What do you do with that?
Who are you beating? Hold on one second. Let me turn around.
Let me use my ass cannon. Hold on.
Wait a second. I got something for you, buddy. And Jordan gets like pissed off by the guy chugging all the beer with his butt and punches him in the stomach. And then it like sprays on the girl. And she's like, I'm gonna get pink eye.
Yes.
She's like, it's on my face. Like
that was one of the funniest parts, I thought. So while all this is going on, Dognot actually locates and finds Marie, and in doing so, we get another fight scene with Marie in close quarters this time, in the hotel room, in the bathroom, and Dognot is right on top of her, getting ready to give her, I think, like a sedative to like knock her out, because they don't want to kill her, they want to bring her in. She's too valuable to kill. About to give her a sedative, and here comes Starlight that blasts him with her powers, and obviously just knocks out Dognot. I thought he was dead, but he was just knocked out completely. And it was strange because I felt like Starlight and Marie walked out of the room and were just having a stroll. Like they didn't just like knock this dude out and he might wake up at any time. Did anybody else feel like that, or was it just me? Like I felt
I understood that.
That's why I thought he was dead. He was dead?
Right. I'm like, oh, maybe he dead, because that's why they're just like
walking out. Yeah.
Let's go get a soda. I'm like, y'all run. Y'all need to get out of there. He might be coming next. So that happens, and while they're having this conversation, Starlight is telling Marie that she needs to go back to school, because you realize that you could be more valuable to the cause than what you think you are right now. And if you go back to school, you can kind of figure out what's going on. What plan does Vought have for the Guardians of Godolkin, as well as you need to figure out what is Odessa. And I'm in my head, I'm listening to the word Odessa, and I'm like, what is Odessa? Like, did I miss something in season 1? Did somebody say something about Odessa? Did you guys hear any references prior to this of Odessa, or was this the first time you both heard it, right?
Yeah, I don't recall if we did. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just making sure I wasn't losing my mind here. So at this point, everyone kind of finds out about the death of Andre, and it really hits huge. I mean, it's already hit Cate in a certain way, since they were in a relationship together, and which is weird because Cate is just messed up. Okay, we are,
like I said before the show, fuck Cate.
Yeah, nobody likes Cate.
Yeah, I don't know what her deal is. It's like you're saying you're helping them, but
no,
like, what are you doing?
I don't know
how.
It just always feels like she has a ulterior motive behind everything she does. I want to take her thoughtfulness for truthfulness, but at the same time, it's like, I know better,
Yeah, I just don't know what her angle is.
That's what I kept trying to figure out. I said, what is her angle besides trying to play both sides? So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like she's trying to be more of a goody two shoes, and kind of butter up the Cipher to bring them back. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, if I can get them back, maybe I can get bumped up because as of right now, we still know the ranking system is super, super huge in the university. So getting bumped up to number 1 could be kind of hard for her, because especially she only has one arm now. So and her powers is, she not gonna be touching people with her feet. So she's like, what I gotta do.
Don't give them ideas, Cam. Don't give them ideas. She might start feet touching people.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the boys. They might do it.
That's another fetish they haven't explored yet. The toes. I'm surprised. See, so where was I? Okay, so everybody's found out about the death of Andre, and the one person that really didn't find out until last was Sam. And Sam, obviously, we know is probably the biggest loose cannon on this show that we know of. He was locked up in a mental institution almost half of season 1, because I don't think he has like schizophrenia, but he obviously has some type of mental issues on a day-to-day basis where he can't not see people as puppets, 1, and 2, he feels like, the death of his brother also is his fault still. So there's a lot of grief as well as hallucinations that probably isn't a good combo, for anybody, honestly. And right now we know that Cate is really just being a crutch for him. Like, she literally is just wiping his brain clean every time, his
so
real
he doesn't
self
have
tries
to
to
feel
come through.
anything.
Right. So he doesn't have to feel anything. Were there any points in this episode that you guys thought like were really highlighted that you really liked, or anything we might have missed that like you were like, what, we really need to talk about that part though?
No, the more I'm thinking about it, I think the only thing that kind of just, like, everyone reacted differently to Andre's death, but when it got to Marie, and then that whole tension between Marie and Jordan, and it's like, no, you left first and you didn't come back for us.
Yeah.
And as the other 2 episodes, come to pass, I felt like they could have still had a little bit more animosity toward Marie for leaving and not coming back.
Yeah.
Because she was hella selfish.
Yeah.
She got out, and she even makes it seem like, wouldn't you have done the same? No, I would have came back for you. Unlike you, not giving a shit about us. And because of you, Andre died because you gave him hope. So
yeah, that is true. So, and it was kind of like a guilt trip too, though.
Exactly. But that was the whole point, right? Because they felt betrayed, one by Cate, and then when Marie leaves, they felt betrayed by her. So then at the same token, everybody feels betrayed when they all go back to school. So now we're back to, who do I trust? Who do I talk to? And now everybody's kind of looking out for themselves after this first episode.
I feel like it was only them, though. What's it, Jordan? It was only Jordan that was really acting like that.
I mean,
so I feel like Emma, it's more.
I feel like Emma was kind of still dazed, like she was there, but she was kind of like, she was like hopping herself up on so many like, drugs.
Whatever drug she was on, man.
Yeah. I don't even know. It was just pills. I don't know what to call them.
Coping.
But like, she was just trying to, cope with the whole entire thing still. And like you said, no good deed undone. And now we see that at the end of this episode, the reason that so the part that happened that I think we kind of, or I missed on, is that in doing so with the fight that Marie had with the Homelander supporters, it ended up on social media. And as we know now, social media in this season is super, super huge, because it seemed like every episode there's either a post or somebody getting, ratted out online to basically build up their followers. So since someone posted a video of her fighting the Homelander supporters, Emma and Jordan were able to kind of track down her location to figure out what city she was in, found her, but also with them finding her, Cate also found her as well. The sad part is that Cate is trying to pull her back to go to school, because like, all right, this seemed very much similar to Cate asking Emma and Jordan to come back to school, like very in a begging way, like, come on, it's okay, like they're gonna accept us, they'll be fine. And it's like, why are you so pressed for me to be there? Like, what why do you need me? Like, why can't you go find somebody else, that might have left and gone away? But I think she's just trying to like put these pieces together, because there's probably something promised to Cate at the end of the road, like there's something promised for her that she really wants to be a part of, or either have for herself. But in doing so, Cate says, hey, you need to come back with us, or you need to come back with me. And Marie obviously declines, and Cate says, I have to do this the hard way. And she tries to grab her, and Jordan like blast her with, Jordan has a lot of powers, by the way. Like, there's a lot. I
didn't even know they had that.
I'm like, when did you get that? You just figured that out? Like, you just blasting people now? Okay.
And didn't we find out that Jordan transforms between both forms by clenching their butthole?
Yeah, they said that. That's what.
That was hilarious.
That's what Cipher did say. He said,
that caught me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, That's weird. I was like,
Okay, hey,
do you
whatever
hold it,
triggers
or
your
do you
powers, man.
just one hit and you switch? Like, how's it go? Like,
See,
it's a long time.
more anal stuff already on Gen V. See,
Oh my gosh.
They just going in.
Butts are
First
flying.
episode. So when Jordan blasts Cate, she ends up hitting like electrical box and then also hitting her head against the wall and falls on the ground, and I guess part of her skull is like fractured now. She's bleeding out. And of course, Marie being Marie, she tries to save her, and she's trying to basically push all the blood back into her body to keep her from bleeding out. And she says, okay, the only way I can do this is if I touch her, or if I get closer to her, then I can get it back into her brain. And Jordan, this is Jordan's fault. Jordan says, you can't touch her because then she'll wipe your memory. And they walk off, just leaving Cate there. Were you guys surprised that they left Cate? I wanted them to leave Cate, to be honest with you.
I cheered. I yelled. I said, thank God.
She gone. What did you think, Stevie?
I mean, yeah, like, you know, whatever for Cate. You know,
we're all like, whatever, Cate died.
Yeah, like, you know, it's Cate. Did they say something else? So like, you can't like fix like a broken like skull or something like that?
Yeah, like she doesn't. Well,
she
I think she doesn't have the power, of course, to heal bones or anything like that. But I think that was like the whole point of Cipher later on in the next episode. Kind of talks more about like, how do your powers really work, right? Like, are you moving around the white blood cells? Are you moving around the red blood cells? Are you moving around the oxygen in the blood? Like, what is it, you know? And it's a possibility if you think about it now. Like, she might be able to fix bones if that is the case, but we just don't know enough about it. Yeah, but that kind of takes us to the end of episode 1, and then we kind of trickle straight into episode 2, where we see Marie has now decided, after doing all that and telling Cate that she didn't want to go back, she's like, all right, I might as well go back, but I want to go back with my friends opposed to with Cate. Like, I don't want Cate to get the credit for this. Like, it's like extra credit for class or something. And Marie's like shooting a fake video of like how she's saying that
was horrendous.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I think that's the point. Yeah. She's not good at the social media stuff.
Right.
And I think that is a good point, Stevie, because like I feel like the more they highlight the social media stuff on here and how that like your platform is everything, I think it kind of makes people kind of look at the whole, not even the whole entire show, but the whole generation of like what's going on and like how people are really, you know, pushing for social media, not attention, but for followers. Because I think the one teacher said like followers are like your family, right? Like you need them like your stuff, because if they don't, then you SOL, you know? So it's, yeah, crazy first episode. But yeah, second episode goes into that, shooting this fake video where she eventually gets it down. And Jordan is obviously being a complete dick to her because he's got tons of animosity still built up from, you know, being locked up and being left, and kind of feeling abandoned, you know, because they obviously have some type of connection. There is a talk with Dean's from the Dean's Cipher with Marie, and what was it at the Omira? Oh, this was called Omira test facility where they were captive at, because Omira, sorry, because they remember seeing Cipher there, and he knows Marie saw him there.
Was he in the last season too?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. I think that's like, I think they were trying to like piece together a memory that we haven't seen, just as like a flashback type memory, because they showed it for a second, but I don't remember anything or even seeing anything about the Omira facility, unless y'all guys remember that. I don't remember seeing that either. Okay, so that's kind of like a new memory that we're kind of being explored into now and stuff. And then now the information is being exposed from Cipher to Marie, and she's kind of trying to figure out like, why are you giving me this information of why, you know, Andre's death really came about, you know, because through the documents and through, I guess, scientific study from doctors, him and his dad both have brain tremors, right, which can cause them to kind of have strokes or stroke out And it's a condition that's, slowly progressing because of their powers that allow them to move metal, kinetically through their brain waves. So they're trying to basically kind of pin Andre's death on himself, I guess you could say. I'm not sure if they really proved the point. I mean, the documents are kind of hard to fabricate, but do you guys believe the story that they said that he killed himself because he tried to open up the door, and knowing that he couldn't try to open it, that he killed himself?
I think there's a cover up. I think it's a little too cut and dry to say, oh, he tried to say, and I know I said it earlier, like, oh, he tried to save us. Right. And then he wound up dying in the process.
Right.
But then why were the other survivors left unscathed? Right. So for me, it's, did he really sacrifice himself, or did y'all kill him? And we're just trying to cover it up right now. Because let's face it, they're not above trying to kill, we saw last season, trying to kill Supes or just trying to kill test subjects, air quotes.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that was just a red herring, as it were.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, and then the episode kind of cuts into the press, and now online are all talking about this like attack on Cate, right? And they're not chalking it up to, Supes attack Cate. They were saying that some group of individuals or racists,
activist groups of some sort,
or activists are coming after her, and of course, the one person who's the broadcaster for Vought News is the fascist, racist, redneck firecracker. Her ass. You're the one. You're gonna give
surprise
the
there.
Okay. Wow. Yep. Sure. And I thought it was funny because there's a quote that she said, "Supes are the most persecuted minority group ever." I said, what?
We're trying to hit the nail a little too on the head this season already, aren't we?
Oh my! I don't know about that. Were y'all slaves? I don't remember that. But I'm like, huh? It's 500 years just don't count for nothing. So, I was like, oh, okay, good for them. So real last. So yeah, so now the episode kind of pushes back now, and we get to see that Emma is Emma, I would say that her character is really built out really strong in this season.
Yes.
Because we saw like little glimpses and glamours of how good of not only an actress, but also how good her character could be. Even though like her power is like, I would say significant, but it's kind of minor at the same time. I would say her personality more is the superpower, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
She just happens to have powers, but she
just happens to have powers, but herself alone is more of like, she didn't used to be like this, but now she's like a doer now, like she really wants to be involved. Are you guys surprised that like this character has really become not really a fan favorite, but like really as predominant compared to all the other characters in the show? I'll start with you, Stevie.
No, not surprised. I like her so much. I like Emma. I like how far she has come. I really feel like that she's becoming into her own in a sense. I like that now she doesn't have to throw up anymore or anything like that to use her powers, which is that could be so triggering sometimes for people to see. So I do like that. But yeah, no, I think she's a great character.
Yeah.
Enjoying her.
Yeah. How about you, Demi?
I would say she's had the most development in the first 3 episodes so far from last season. And I'm glad she did, because I know a lot of people complained last season about she being the weak link of the group. So it's nice to see that it's almost as if, like, let's say Black Widow, right? They don't have powers. They're just really badass and a martial artist. And well, Kate's even less than that. Emma's less than that. She literally is just all guts and let's do it, and plucky. And I like plucky. And I think you can root for plucky underdog. And yeah, to Stevie's point, I'm so glad she doesn't have to vomit to do her powers, even though now they're just randomly happening. So I'm curious to see what the true trigger is when we talk about, well, how's your power work? So now it's drugs and excitement and endorphins, and now she grows and shrinks too. So
She is
It's an
Ant-Man.
interesting. Yeah, she's Ant-Man essentially. Yes, correct.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
Ant-Man,
literally.
Giant Man, all rolled up in the one. But she did say something during, I believe, the second episode, if not the first, where Andre believed in her when nobody else did, right? And remember, she was dating Sam during this whole first season, or like fucking around with Sam. So the fact that someone who had no physical relationship with her still believed in her ability to be a hero, and that's ran with her in the first 3 episodes, and she's using that as a beacon to continue to do and motivate other people, as we see with those 2 girls in the dorm room that want to do Starlight stuff. And it's just a welcome change. I like my heroes a little layered, and she's not all doom and gloom like everybody else seems. So good on her.
Yeah. I'm like you both said. I mean, I'm super excited to see where her character goes further on. But I would say, she's definitely had a huge 360 change as far as even being a leader, of the group. Because like she was kind of like sitting back and just like, I'll tell this, I'll tell that, but I don't want to do anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the forefront person, because not because she didn't want to get hurt, because she had all these internal demons that she was fighting herself, so it's hard to fight an exterior war when inside you're still fighting, trying to figure out who you are, so I love that for this character, and I'm super excited to see where she goes after this. But yeah, so the episode kind of switches back, and now we see that Cate is still in the hospital, recovering, unconscious, and Sam goes to visit her, and when in doing so, he's having a whole conversation with her, not playing with her hair. That sounds kind of weird. But like, petting her like, it's okay, Cate. And the nurse goes to like draw blood, and Cate grabs the nurse's arm. And the nurse, I was like, man, what's her life insurance policy like, man? Like she just that lady woke up and went to work this morning not thinking like, oh yeah, I'm about to poke somebody in the eyeball and die, and have a seizure. Like, she was healthy. She was just having a good day. And Cate takes over the lady's mind and says to Sam, they left me, right? And Emma, that of course says Emma's name out of everybody. Like, Emma didn't even do it. She didn't even do it. Okay. She literally just sat there and was like, hands up. Everybody else was like, all right, we're leaving you. But of course, maybe that was the easiest name to say first. Who knows? There's one character that we kind of get introduced to in the first episode, who is like he's like a PR person for VOT as well as Godolkin University, which I thought was very weird character. Very annoying. Very annoying.
She's with the bee stinger.
With the bee stinger on her butt. That's just out, right?
More butt stuff. See? More butt stuff.
Non-stop. It's just
always butts.
And she comes into this episode and she's like carrying a jar. And then she like pukes into the jar.
Yeah, it seems
and
like
she's
a bee
like,
of some
oh, it's
sort.
honey. Do you want some?
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh, ew. Yeah.
I'm good.
So, but you have,
like,
but you
I'm
notice
not
that they
feeling
reference,
that.
they reference her, what do you call it, the stinger thing multiple times in the first couple of episodes. Oh, be careful! Oh, be careful! I wouldn't want you to die or me. So that just leads me to believe later on this season, someone's gonna press the button, and it's gonna be a gruesome death for both her and the bee lady. So that's gonna be interesting.
See that?
Yeah, they're definitely gonna yank the stinger out for sure eventually. And I was actually trying to figure out, I'm like, man, she must not have a husband. Like, how's that work? Like,
no butt stuff. That's how it works.
He cooked. You can't even. It might get you from the front. You don't know. I don't know. That thing look long. I said, my God.
Maybe she's more bee down. We don't know.
Jeez, I'm good.
Stevie, that's a conversation I'm not wanting to go down right now.
I don't know. Like, how do bees procreate? I don't know.
Somebody gotta go. My goodness.
They lay eggs? Is that what they do?
I don't think that's how it happens, but
maybe in this universe, bees lay eggs. You know,
I don't know.
Maybe somebody.
I don't know bees.
Oh man. Yeah. So her coming in this, it kind of pushes the fact that the ranking system is still alive, and that is a huge thing for VOT and its students. Marie starts using her powers because now they have a almost like a gladiator course that they're in, right?
Man.
And it is very, very insane. They are fighting a character or a superhero name of Vitcord, who is almost like this Viking character that's carrying this huge giant mallet. And even Marie's powers are not really strong enough to stop him. Would you say that this fight scene is better than the first episode's fight scene? I'll start with you, Damien.
No. What I did like about it was it set the tone to let them know this is how outclassed you still are. You may be the strongest potential person here, but you ain't got it like that. You know, fake Scourge was really putting it in with that. Doesn't he remind you of Scourge from Thor Ragnarok?
I was trying to figure out who he reminded me of. I was like,
Cal Urban, Scourge. But watching him break that dude's back, you know what I mean, with the mallet Shao Kahn style. I was thinking, oh, we are in for it tonight. And Marie tried her best, right?
She did.
But all she could do was kind of freeze him in place a little bit. But that just shows how outclassed she was. And I like it because it kind of, for all this, you might be the chosen one, to realize, well, you ain't all that just yet. You're still a kid, right? Within the superhero realm. So a good learning experience, even though whatever this survival of the fittest class was, I'm dropping that class the next day, bro.
Give me a W. I gotta go. Withdraw me, please. Like, I'm good. What about you, Stevie?
Yeah, no, I think I agree with Damien. I will say I did not know she was freezing him in place. I thought she was giving him a heart attack.
I thought she was too, because like he was like
that's
doing
what I meant.
like this,
she was like his thing was bumping, so
like he was trying to pump his own heart, right? Or
that's
pump
what I
the blood
meant.
through his body.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like, again, I still think she has the strongest power. You can just give people heart attacks, like like that. Like, that's insane. Imagine what else you could do?
Exactly.
With blood, like healing people too, like insane.
Yeah, it's so wild.
But I will say, I think this training thing is not just a class, which I think we find out in episode 3. But it's not just a class.
Yeah, it's definitely something more. I definitely was impressed by Vicord's powers though, and how he was able to kind of like not restart, but like keep getting his heart pumping by just like bumping his chest through the fight. Because I was like, oh, he's done. Like, she's got him. He's done. And then he started hitting his chest, and then he was good to go. He definitely did hit that kid in the back, Shao Kahn style. And it's funny because Cipher came back in, who's played by Hamish Linklater, and he was like, they were like, you can't do this. Like, look at that guy. He's dead. He was like, he'll be okay. Think. Like, he'll be all right.
He wasn't tough enough. No big.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
This character is such an asshole.
I was like, but now the episode kind of cuts back, and now we see that Polarity actually wants to help, right? Earlier in the episode, he went to Cipher and accepted a job on campus. I think he previously was a teacher on campus, but now he is a PR teacher, I believe, right? Or like a marketing teacher at the facility. And now he wants to kind of help out. And the first person he goes to who's super excited that he's here is Emma, right? Miss Resilience herself. That's what I'm starting calling her. Because at this point, the memory of Andre is kind of not it's already gotten to him, but at the same time, he wants to honor his son more than anything. And he has to have like a talk down moment. And Emma tells him to kind of take a beat, because like he's like, I don't want to say it, but like it reminds me of like angry black man. Like he ready to like, I'm gonna get these people, we're gonna set it on fire. And she's like, all right, listen, your son told me you're one of the smartest people when you walk in the room. You can read a room and work a room like nobody else. So how about we do this a civil way where we can really take people down instead of like going into the Seven's headquarters and getting your head blown off, right? Which will show that is probably the best approach for Polarity, since his powers do require the tremors as well, right? We don't need him going in full force and then cluking out. So to do so, both of them have to kind of go through the files because they want to learn more, not only about Cipher, but also about Thomas Godolkin, who the university is about. So they bump into I guess like a clerk, you can call it, right, in the file section, who is named the Rememberer, right? And the Rememberer had his like own TV show and literally remembers everything that's ever happened, the time, the date, what people were wearing, what, everything, right, to the finest detail. And Andre's trying to like smooth his way over to get the files because he doesn't have authorization. But Emma ends up being the charmer, and using the fact that she was high as hell was crazy.
That's the funny part.
Is that she's like stoned out of her mind or high out of her mind. And right now she's able to not only persuade the Rememberer to give them access, but he kind of grants it because she was a fan of his show that got canceled. It's a really cool scene. It's not really much I can go into about it, but I thought it was really, really funny just to watch the interaction between the Rememberer and Emma. There's some really funny moments in there. And then while they're getting access to this location, the Deep makes an appearance. Back to butt stuff once again. My God. There's a lot this season in the first 3 episodes. The Deep makes an appearance at the initiation ceremony for the fraternity, and he makes a comment because he says that this fraternity was made up of Southern white men that were pushed against the Northern aggression for no other reason. And I was like, weird. That's so weird. That's no other reason against the Northern aggression. That's interesting. Okay. This is very seeming very under the cover KKK-ish. And then we find out that the founder of the fraternity was Thomas Godolkin, right? And in this room that I'm not sure how Emma even heard it. I guess she had like super high hearing or, super on drugs hearing. So she can hear this motor in this secret back room that's in the clerk's office or in the storage area. And Polarity is able to open the door, and inside there's a shrine or even like a small little museum dedicated to Thomas Godolkin that has Nazi attire, KKK robes, some Native American outfit. I was like, what's the Native American outfit? How did that get here too? I was like, what's going on? What was he in? Everything? Like, this is crazy. So what did you guys think? Like, did you think that this was gonna go there when we started talking about Thomas Godolkin? Go ahead, go for it.
Yeah. I'll start off real quick. I'll just say, if you go back to the first episode and the first five minutes, he was the last person to die in that room, right? So you see the last scientist. So you see the badge, and fast forward to all this. Think about it. When we look at the room in that first episode of all those scientists, what's the one thing they have in common besides being scientists?
Right.
They're
light skin.
They're white.
So I am not surprised that when we go through the secret passage, that it's some kind of KKK white supremacist, and when the Deep referencing, oh, this was formed against the Northern aggressor. What part of history are you reading? So I wasn't surprised we went there. And I'll say it now because I know this season it's going to get annoying for people. There's a certain sector of the populace that is not going to like this portrayal, but too bad, because that's how it's coming across. So deal.
Myra's gonna. What did you think, Stevie?
Oh yeah, totally. It's the boys. Like, I feel like they always reference some sort of like Nazi stuff. Even like last season with Storm, whatever, wasn't she a Nazi too?
She was. I think she was in the boys like season 2 or 3, I think. Yeah, Stormbreaker, right?
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. And there's also like a lot of Nazi stuff happening. Like, if you're watching Peacemaker right now, same thing. So
a lot of undertones. It's crazy. And you know what? That makes me think about Stormbreaker too, because I'm like, man, I wonder if she knew Thomas Godolkin, because she was
Stormfront,
because
Stormbreaker's
Stormfront. Stormfront. Because she was really older than what she seemed, right? I mean, she looked young, but she was actually, alive during the time of the Nazis. So I'm like, man, she might have she might have been his girlfriend or something, you know, like he injected her while she was taking a nap or something. I don't know. But in doing so, Polarity and Emma finally find a secret file in Godolkin's little dedicated shrine museum, and it is labeled Odessa, right? And now we're like, okay, we got to take this information back. But of course, they don't show us what the information is. We got to get the whole crew around to read it. And I'm like, God, open it up. I'm thinking episode about to end. And so now Emma is trying to take the information back to Jordan and Marie, right? Okay, dramatic effect. Love it. And in doing so, on her way, Sam confronts Emma about putting Cate in the hospital. And they're both having like a look in the mirror type moment, you know? But she's kind of trying to tell Sam that, like, yo, you're the one that's messed up. Like, how can you sit here and judge me for things I'm doing when you done a lot more worse things than I have? Do you think there's a chance that relationship is going to come back together, or it's too far gone at this point? I'll start with you, Stevie.
Between Jordan and Marie?
Oh no, so between Emma and Sam.
Oh, Emma and Sam. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I could see that maybe like somewhere down the line. Yeah, totally. I feel like they could work it out. We'll see. It depends on like what happens with his whole mind, your brain. Yeah, to get that fixed. Yeah.
There's a lot going on. What do you think, Davey?
I think that's exactly part of what I was thinking, Stevie. Just depending on where his brain is, they either can get back together in some teary romantic lovers thing, or they're going to kill each other. It's going to come down to a last stand between the two of them at some point. And one of them is not going to survive. Because after a while, like you said, Cam, after a while, unless they're using Cate's toes, she's not going to be able to like calm down Sam's mind. And eventually Sam's mind is going to win, i.e. see puppets all the time, like we saw later on in these first 3 episodes. So I have a sneaking suspicion that he's going to lose control this season.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking she might have to put him down. And that will be, it'll be similar to Wanda and Vision, where I don't want to kill you, but I have to for the greater good.
Yeah.
And I can see that happening. Like she'll grow, maybe step on him or something. And then, or she'll do the Ant-Man, go up his butt, because, you know, butt stuff, and blow him up from inside, like they talked about Ant-Man and Thanos. So that could be.
Maybe. He does a lot of flip-flopping back and forth too.
He does.
Sometimes he's like nice and he's like very sympathetic, and then next he's, you know,
he's got the like body of a college student, but he's a child mentally because of everything he's gone through, which is understandable. I get it. Your brother was your crutch, like we were saying before, and now Kate's your crutch. So now you're going to have to fend for yourself. And some people aren't resilient, even though you have superpowers. He may not be able to handle being on his own mentally and personally.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I mean, honestly, there's been several times where like I see Sam with just anyone and I'm like, oh, he's about to rip his head off. He's going to rip his head off probably. And he doesn't most of the time. I think that's the biggest shock factor for him, is that like watching him is almost like watching a horror movie, because I'm like, I don't know what he's gonna do. Like I every time I'm like, oh my god, this normal person's gonna die. And he doesn't, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was surprising, thank God. So after Sam confronts Emma and they have their conversation in the hallway, on the news it now shows that Dognod actually found and killed the suspect that attacked Emma. Come to find out, it was Starlight supporters, right? And the main person that was killed and kind of framed for this whole situation is the young man that actually helped Marie in the first episode get food. That sucks. Yeah, terrible. Like like you said, no good deed undone. My God, like that's gratifying consequences for you know, Marie, Jordan, and Emma to see that, you know, this random individual, or not random, but this individual that, you know, helped her out in a time of need really end up paying the ultimate price. And then now we see that Emma finally delivers the papers to Marie, and she's like, I know what Odessa is. And they open it up, and they see it is a photo of Marie as a baby. She is Odessa. Was that a surprise to y'all? Like, did you think she was gonna be Odessa, or did you just like, I don't know what the hell Odessa is? I'll start with you. Yeah.
I wasn't
surprised.
Or
really?
you weren't surprised at all?
Oh, I think I've seen one too many superhero shows where if we're looking for the Grand Poobah or the Neo of the show,
right
dun dun dun, it's the main character.
Right. Yeah.
I just want to know what her part is with it. Like,
right.
Yeah. Like, what's the point?
And I thought it was crazy because like I wasn't even sure what Odessa was referencing to. Like, was it a person or was it like a program or like was it a mastermind computer? Like, I don't know what it was, or like a plot, on its own. But come to find out, it's her. And yeah, it's basically a picture of her parents, and her aunt Pam. Matter of fact, Aunt Pam. See, look at damn. Oh, you got an Aunt Pam. As her and a baby in the hospital. With Cipher obviously lurking around every corner. And that's kind of where we're left off in episode 2, which was pretty good. I would say it wasn't as strong as episode 1, but I felt like it was definitely it was setting a nice little tone for the building blocks on episode 3. So we'll jump right into episode 3. So now we are showing that a human's daily life working for Vought as well as Godolkin school can be very stressful, right? This was like, why do you work here? The lady that works at the coffee shop and the school is basically scanned by a soup because the humans, man, it's a lot of like racist segregation undertones in the show too, which is crazy. That they put like right in front of you, like they're not hiding it, but it's like, oh shoot, I didn't think about it like that. And she's basically being scanned by a soup, not a scanner. She's scanned by a person whose superpowers is to, I guess, X-ray vision or see through people's clothes. And the dude is like, yuck. He's like looking her up and down, he like even licks his lips at one point. And I'm like, come on, bro. Like you doing too much. And her life is basically tormented on a daily basis because she's faulted for other people's mistakes or other people doing things around her. For example, people are putting up starlight resistant posters, right? And they're putting it up at a exemplary rate. Like every time she takes one down, she turns around and it's back up. And this guy sees it and was like, you think it's funny? And comes up to her, and her being a human, she has no way to fend off these people if they just have a bad day, right? He spits in her tip jar, which I'm pretty sure she's only making minimum wage and then getting tips. He spits in her acid spit and puts a hole in her jar. Now, how's she gonna get the tips? Tips gonna fall through the daggone table. That would piss me off all day. I'd be like, this thing's probably glued now to the table too.
I quit.
I would have quit. That's
I'm like, what
I'm the new work study kid.
I'm like, what is the pay rate here? Can't be that good. Ain't no way. Benefits, nah.
Go work at a Starbucks, like or something.
You probably get more tips and less harassment at a Starbucks for sure. If it exists in this world, though, that is because Vought, own everything. So it's like, well, this is the only coffee shop that exists. And now we see that Marie is thinking to herself, like, okay, I should reach out to my Aunt Pam from the photo because that's the only person that's left alive that feels like she could probably trust, right? Obviously, Cipher is going to put in front of her whatever he wants her to see, but Aunt Pam might answer, because she said that she had reached out to her like 10 years prior, and I think she never responded back when there was a whole a court case battle over her sister, and her sister's name was what?
Annabeth,
right? And is it Annabeth? Yeah. Okay. Interesting name. For some, it's like Annabeth. I've never seen an Annabeth before. So yeah, so now she's like, all right, let me reach out to my Aunt Pam and see where this gets. I feel like Polarity is really getting to a point where he's really starting to relate to Emma on not only like a superhero sidekick way, but kind of like as someone that cares, right? Like,
I'm a little worried about that, by the way.
How do you feel about that relationship?
I'm starting
to
get.
Do you think it's gonna get? Would you go ahead?
Yeah, it's starting to get uncomfortable
for
me just because.
A little bit.
I don't even want to go there, but it just.
Yeah.
It seems like mentor mentee, but it might be a little bit more immersed because they're both
maybe.
Have you not seen what we've done already in these first?
Yeah, we have gotten wild.
Would you not be surprised if that happened?
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're college, so I guess that's fine.
Oh God, this is like, oh my gosh, this is the professor student scenario.
And the student,
exactly.
Right. Not like we have done that before in real life or literature or TV. So what's to stop it from happening here?
This is getting dangerous. So because me in my head, I was like, he's starting to think of her like a daughter, really like care about her. Because she was saying something about like, or no, he said something to her about the way she had to get small, right? Because they didn't show it on screen, but obviously for her, since she had that like giant freak out where she like ended up blowing up after finding Odessa, she had to make herself puke, obviously, to get small again. And he was like, hey, like, do you want to talk about it? And she made it weird because she was like, oh, it's the thing about seeing me naked, like yada yada yada. It's okay, I get it. And I was like,
see, exactly.
Ooh,
he didn't care about your boobies, girl. Calm down.
Calm down, man.
I will say though, in her character at the beginning in season 1, she was very sexualized. So maybe that is like a first thing that she probably would have thought of.
True.
Yeah, and that was from the jump. She. Oh yeah. Oh god, just put an image in my head. Okay.
Thank you, Stevie. Thank you.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wilder than the other stuff.
Continue.
You sound like a child. The other stuff. So now we're seeing that after that conversation, Cate is still having trauma after being brought back on campus. Her brain is just, it's not the same, right? After this after this injury. And the one thing we know about Cate is that she does not have regenerative powers. So like her arm's gone, it's gone. If anything happens to her brain and there's a damage where she gets her powers from, it's partly damaged. And the doctors are telling her, you can't use your powers for a while. So for her, that's kind of weird because she's used to being able to walk into a room or walk around campus and know what everybody's thinking. And now she's walking into the room and she's like, I can't hear anybody. Cate, nobody's talking. That's why you can't hear them. That's probably why. And it sucks because she's used to being able to know what everybody's thinking. Do you think there's going to be a point where Cate fully gets her powers back, or do you think they're fully changed at this point? I'll start with you, Damien.
Not so much back to normal, but I think we saw it with the nurse situation, an evolution of the powers where she can use, let's say, a conduit of a person to be able to use the powers, similar to what she did with the nurse. I don't know if that was only because she was unconscious, so her consciousness was put through it. But if that's something we can see done throughout the rest of the season, then that's an upgrade of her power set. I think, and as much as I hate Cate the character, her over-reliance on her, I guess, convincing powers, of convincing people to not feel pain or feel anything, it was slowly starting to wane on her. So this might be kind of a bit of a weight lifted off her shoulders where it's not always on, right? The powers aren't always on. And now when we have to go through the murder, death, kill class where you have to learn to control your powers, maybe that will be the next evolution of her power set.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Stevie?
I think her powers are changed. I do. I don't know where they're going to go with it. Maybe it is the thing, like you said, with using people as like a way to use your powers, but I think they're definitely changed. I don't think they're going to get back to normal, and it's going to be different. And that could, and there's like one thing about the show, like I feel like there's a lot of undertones to like serious things that happen to people. And when I think about it, it's like, okay, when you go through something traumatic, like a traumatic accident or something, you're never the same after that.
Yeah.
So that could be what's happening here.
Yeah. You know, that's a really good point, Stevie, because like traumatic accidents or something like that, and trying to relearn how to do the normal day-to-day is the hardest thing for a lot of people after, you know, recovery. And that's what we're seeing with Cate now, because she's just not the same person that she was before, especially after the arm thing. But now I'm pretty sure she's probably she thrives on the way that she can not only be helpful but be useful to other people. And once her usefulness is probably used up, she probably thinks in her head like, people won't have a need for me anymore as well. So that's probably a huge part of the story too. But since that is happening, Cate is kind of reasserted back into classes. They are now going to the gladiator class, is what they're calling it, that is ran by Dean Cipher, where the students are battling each other at this point. We see that Marie is using her powers, and the way that she's using them, you know, Cipher kind of has more questions about it, because he's not really impressed. He's like, you have powers, but the way you're using them is kind of sloppy. You know, like it just seems very human, right? Because, for example, you have to use your blood. So you cut your own hand, you use the blood in your hand that comes out now as your weapon, but opposed to different ways that you could be using it, you know, from pulling it out of another person or something like that. He says that, I want you to be like Angelina Jolie, right? Not Girls Interrupted version, but I need Salt version of Angelina
That was
Jolie.
a funny reference, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
I thought that was funny as hell.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I was like, that's crazy. And then now that that's going on, and we already see that, it seems like Marie is going to be his pride and joy to work with, right? That's the person he wants to really express and push to their highest potential. That is Odessa. From what we know now, that is Odessa.
That's why
he
I
was the
think
main scientist, so that's why she's the pet project, right?
Yeah.
That's
why I think this class is not really a class. Like I feel like it's like a training ground for her. Like,
it's the danger room essentially for X-Men.
Yeah. And now we see that Sam is still trying to come full circle and dealing with his his trauma, drama, and everything that's happened to him. Now that he doesn't have Emma as, you know, his feeling wiper, or, you know, his person to lean on. Now that the puppets are starting to reemerge in his brain, he's starting to see tuna sandwiches and trash cans. And
sandwich caught me off guard.
Cussing him out. I'm like, man, there's a lot going on. And, you know, he rushes over to Cate and he's like, please, can you just make it go away? And she's like, you got to deal with it, man. Like, I can't use my power. I don't have this. I'm not the same person I was before. Let's see. All right. So we'll trickle back out of that. And we'll say like, all right, so Marie now and Jordan, so Jordan is a they on the show, right? And we kind of find out that Jordan is not but they're not a transgender. They're a binary. What did he say it was? It was a binary something. Hold on. Let's see.
Gender something. I think it has something to do with gender.
I think it's binary, not fluid. It's not fluid. Bigender. That's what it's called. He's bigender. So, or they are bigender. So they can obviously, you know, go back and forth to switch to whatever gender they want. We found out by clenching their butt. Which is wild still. And Marie kind of, you know, exposes the information to Jordan that she actually was a virgin when they first did it. And I'm not sure really how Jordan didn't know that, but interesting.
Wait, never mind.
Maybe the power. No, go. Maybe the powers. No, go ahead. Where are you going?
No, you're on the right track. Depending on which version of Jordan was sleeping with her.
I mean, okay, yeah, I get that. Okay.
Stevie's like, what are y'all talking about?
Sorry. So
No comment.
Oh no, we're gonna get to more Jordan stuff shortly.
Yeah, it's in there. It is definitely coming. And Marie in the previous episode, you know, not slipped up, but she intentionally told Jordan that she loved them. And the only thing that Jordan could say was at this next episode is that you can't say I love you to the first person you had sex with. I was like, yeah, kind of cold, bro. Like, come on.
But that's been Jordan's MO the entire time.
It has.
Not wanting to let people in, not wanting to be vulnerable. That's their entire shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is so wild. Not sure how they even got back into good graces after saying that, but it happened. But I think that's also a testament to the kind heart of Marie too. Like, she's very understandable when people like have not just bad days, but like she has her own bad days too. So they kind of understand like, okay, I got to be able to work with this person because we all been through a lot, you know? And then we kind of find out also that Cate goes to visit Cipher at his house, which used to be Newman's home at one time, right? And they find out that Cipher actually knows that Marie, Jordan, and Emma actually were the ones that attacked Cate this whole entire time. It's just been a game that Cipher's been playing, you know, like he's like, hey, you gotta play nice because we need them here. And if you don't, then we don't need you anymore. And Cate hates this because she's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm just supposed to pretend and smile in their face, you know, every day, knowing that they're the ones that almost killed me and left me to die. He's like, yeah, okay, nice seeing you, Cate. Have a great day. I'm like, man, he's so casual. Like, I'm like, how much of Hamish Linklater's normal personality really went into this, where he was just like, okay, I'm gonna drink some tea. Have a great day. So as Cate is walking out of Dean Cipher's housing, she noticed that this weird metal chamber is actually in part of the house that she didn't notice before when the other Dean lived there. What do you guys think that is, or what do you think that chamber has to do with? I'll start with you, Stevie.
That chamber in his house?
Yeah,
I think it has to do with his powers, because they always reference that he has powers, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So I feel like it has something to do with that. And he also does other weird stuff when he's in the house. Like he's making like this weird like drink or something. Like he's blending all his food together.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, it's something to do maybe with that or some other weird thing. I don't know. But that.
What do you think?
Knowing how this season's gone so far, probably sacrificing the blood of Supes to give himself more power. Something chicanerous like that. Or he might have Nazi paraphernalia. Who knows?
Who knows?
That is true. I feel like it's some like bot created Nazi hyperbolic chamber that allows him to like regenerate,
not the DBZ hyperbolic time chamber.
Like that's what in my head I'm like, oh yeah, that is definitely a coffin for him not to die.
He's Dracula. Oh man.
Yep, for sure. For sure. If he pops off and being a vampire, I'd be like, that's crazy that they threw vamps in here too. I mean, that would be why he knows so much about blood. Think about it. But so let's see. So now at this point, Emma is really but we find out that the person that's actually putting up these signs, or we think is a speedster or invisible or has some type of power where they can basically go back and forth and disappear. So Emma's whole MO now is to figure out who exactly is doing this. And come to find out, she ends up kind of tracking them down, and then she walks into the boys' locker room where they're all changing. Listen, I'm like, hey, yo, I'm like, man, listen, everybody at home, if you're watching this show, make sure your kids are asleep, okay? Because it gets a little wild in here. And then she's ended up being blasted by almost like a temporary power that whoever this individual was. So she doesn't really get to catch them.
Right.
A little bit later on in the episode, we actually see that she actually tracks them down because she happens to be in her public relations class with her professor Polarity now, and she sees someone in class with like yellow spray paint on their finger, and I believe her name was Harper, right? We've seen her throughout the first 3 episodes, and she actually has like this rat tail. I thought it was a rat tail, and come to find out, she explains that it is a chameleon tail. I've never seen chameleon's tail in my life.
Not like that.
I'm like, whoa, you're the different kind of chameleon. So like, what species is this? This is crazy. So what she can do is, I believe she can hold anyone's powers for about 60 seconds.
Correct.
And she confesses that she is a Starlight supporter, and they're gonna let Emma in on their little secret club that they do.
That is the corniest secret club ever.
There's only 2 people.
2 people who don't even probably want to be in said club.
No, not at all. They're posting like, we're gonna write resist in yellow, so it's really hard to wipe off. We're gonna get them. All you're doing is pissing off the janitor. The janitor is working really hard, and that's it. Like, that is a normal. And the janitor is probably a human. If you think about it, like all the people they're pissing off are just humans, because like janitor probably a human, coffee shop lady,
the coffee girl.
I'm like, I'm like, man, you were really just sticking it to the wrong people. But now this gives Emma the kind of push to enlist more people. How far do you think this whole Emma enlisting people thing is really gonna grow? I'll start with you, Damien.
Again, this is her becoming a leader, right? This is what we've been saying this entire review. She's going to be this new leader. So I'm going to make it like the X-Men. She's going to lead the Morlocks. This is what I'm thinking. Okay. She's going to lead the rejects with all the weird powers. The chameleon girl who's like got the rogue powers. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, all these randos are going to just, Starlighters are just going to be, hey, what do you do? Cool, I'm the voice of the voiceless. Since you got cooler powers than me, but you're not as brave as me, I can lead you. And I think that's exactly where we're going to go. And like I said earlier in the review, I'm glad this is the route they're taking with her, if this is the route they're taking.
Yeah.
But because this is who she was, season 1, unsure of herself, lonely, desperate to connect. And now she has this. She's a superhero now, all in a sense, right? She acts as if she's a hero, and I love to see this progression. But you're gonna start somewhere. So if you got 2 Morlocks, cool. Let's see what else you can do as far as recruiting other superheroes.
Yeah. What do you think, Stevie?
Yeah, I think so too. I think she is gonna be like this new resistance that's gonna happen on campus against, you know, the evil Supes of this world here. And whatever also, I think that's whatever's going to play out here, I think it's definitely going to come back in The Boys as well, like their season finale, whatever's going on here.
Yeah,
it's going to happen over there too, especially since you see them in this show a lot.
That's true. I do like how this is like almost like a building block season for the finale of The Boys too. You know, it feels like you said, it is going to trickle over, which I think a lot of people would be excited to see, like, you know, that Avengers Endgame moment, if we ever get it, you know what I'm saying? Like with everybody combined, fighting for one purpose in the season finale. So, so basically, So in the next part of this episode, we kind of see that Sam is spazzing out because he can't get his feelings repressed by Emma, right? Oh, crybaby. So he goes and starts like smashing up the campus, smashing up his room. And the person that's there to kind of slow him down and stop him is Jordan. And him and Jordan, in doing so, get into this crazy fight where they're breaking down walls. They go into rooms they're not supposed to go into.
The human centipede.
Oh yeah, more butt stuff.
More butt stuff.
What? What is that man doing in there?
Was that the same dude that did the beer shots?
Yep, same dude. That's his power.
God.
I was really trying to figure out what they were doing at first, but then I got it.
Bro, that dude that was in there didn't have goggles on. Think about that. Okay, that's what I thought. I said, man, oh man, he is not gonna be able to see for a month. So you guys will watch it and you'll understand what we're talking about. We're not gonna reveal all the details because it is
just butt stuff. That's it.
It was one to be surprised with for sure. So,
but the fight was good.
It was a good fight. It was a little interrupted by that, but it was a good fight though. Definitely a good fight. It definitely shows that Jordan can stand blow for blow with Sam though. I'm not sure to what extent, but it was definitely a good fight scene though. I think so too. So while all this is going on, Marie is trying to figure out herself at this point. And she ends up meeting with Aunt Pam, who agrees to let her come over, and talk. And it's very awkward because when she originally gets to the house and rings the doorbell and Aunt Pam answers the door, she's like, Aunt Pam. And Aunt Pam's like, yeah, just don't call me that. I'm like, damn, all right. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. What do I call you, Pam? Like, what I say? Like, damn. Can I call you by your last name? Like, I don't know, Mrs. what? So she ends up walking in and Aunt Pam is very kind of like snippy with her too. She's like, what are you doing here? She's like, I'm just letting you know that like I have a book club Zoom thing in a little bit. So, let's make this kind of quick. And she finds out, by showing Aunt Pam the photo of her being in the hospital, that she was actually at a fertility clinic. That photo was taken at a fertility clinic, right? Where she was born, Marie was born. Come to find out that it was funded by Vought, and it was offering people free trials, no charge. And of course, it pranced on the lower income families, because not everybody can afford, I mean, that's a super high toll, trying to have a kid the scientific way. Like it's super expensive. So I understood where that's probably coming from. And as she's flipping through the photos, she says like, hey, I got some more photos for you. She's like, okay. So she gets them, she hands them to her, and she shows that Cipher is in one of the photos holding her. She's like, what is she do? What is he doing there? He's like, oh, that's Dr. Gold who delivered you. They're like, Dr. Who? Who is Dr. Gold? Like I'm like, man, how many? And in my head, I'm like, how many other names does this dude have? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many games is he playing out here? And as she's kind of like, everybody has that moment in movies or shows where they're like, I want to use the restroom, and then they get a little snoopy. You're like, what's in this room? Like, I'm use the bathroom, but I got living in here. And she has a moment where she looks in a room and she finds out that her sister actually was living with Aunt Pam majority of the time. And she acted like she had never talked to Annabeth. Okay, that'd still throw me off. Okay. This whole time. And Marie is irate, honestly, at this whole entire secret being kept from her. How much do you agree with how Marie feels? Being not only betrayed, but being shunned for doing something that she has no control over during a time. What do you think, Stevie?
Yeah, I think she's absolutely right. I feel like that, like, ever since season 1, I always felt like that was so unfair on how they treated her. Like,
yeah.
And I really like when she was like, I was just a girl that got my period. Like, it's not, why am I getting blamed for having a biological thing going on with me right now? Right. And I think she has every right to be upset because it's not her fault. Like, she couldn't control her powers, and it makes sense why she found out so late. Because it's like, what is she gonna do? Yeah. But I think she's absolutely right, and I think they need to hear that because it's so messed up.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Damien?
While Stevie was talking, I was prepared to disagree with her, but I agree with her because, she was a girl. She had her period. She had no control. Her parents were the one that signed her up for this trial, right? Before she was conceived even, So she is the product of a Vought experiment that her parents just wanted to have a child. And lo and behold, ta-da. But then I thought what Pam said after about Annabeth being the, what was the word she used? She was like, she was
the biological
miracle.
Yeah, the biological miracle. They didn't need any scientific intervention for that.
That, if I'm Marie, that hurts me more than anything.
Yeah.
To hear that. Like, you were the firstborn, but she's actually the miracle. And I'm thinking way back to the first episode where we see Marie's powers activate and, everyone's scared of her. So on the other hand, I understood Pam's reservations about being close to her because in the moment, you killed your parents. I know it's not your fault after all this time, but you were the one that was responsible for your parents' death. But when Marie said, to Stevie's point, I was a girl that had her period, it made me think, you know what? She's absolutely right. She may have been the catalyst, but she wasn't the reason why her parents died. She didn't want to kill her parents. It wasn't as if it was premeditated.
Yeah.
It was an accident, and people are shunning her like she did it on purpose.
Yeah.
So it's like again, the X-Men, when a power goes out of control, right? It's not their fault. They haven't learned to control their powers yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad stuff happens, but you kind of deal with what happens after that.
Yeah.
And
especially,
and then go ahead, Stevie. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, like, especially when, like, if you're a female and you're having your period for the first time, like, it's such a confusing time in your life. Like, it's like this, it just happens randomly. Like, and you're emotional. You don't know what to do. So I can totally see why she could lash out if she did.
That's tough, man. So tough. Like how the the whole situation, the fingers being pointed at her, for just growing up. She basically, she just wrong timing type thing, and it just happened that way. That's just how the cookie crumbled in this one, which really sucks. And in even doing so, like, she kind of asked, Aunt Pam, like, can I see her? And Aunt Pam's like, she don't know. He didn't ask her. She just like, and she's like, the worst part is you guys made me out to be this monster, right? Like Stevie said, and I was really just a girl that just got my period. That's all I was. It's my parents' fault that I'm this way. And to Damien's point, when he said that, like, she was, the miracle, and Marie just looks like the experiment now. That's exactly, because she honestly was, test tube baby. That's how they're making her seem. Not as. Not God's gift, which is crazy.
And that's gotta wear on you, and that
for sure.
And I also think this is going to be a catalyst for later in the season, because remember, they're training her to be this nuke type hero, right?
Yeah,
that might be the catalyst saying, well, if my family doesn't want to see me, my friends don't even like me, F that. Let me be the monster everybody makes me out to be.
Yeah.
That's usually how villains are made, in a lot of storylines. They get everybody to eventually, even Superman, everybody, you lose everyone and then everyone turns on you. It's like
turning point.
Well, let's go ahead and let's just be the bad guy they want me to be, or bad girl. So in doing so, we see that conversation happen, and which leaves I think not only Marie but also Pam consciously thinking about what she's done now, after having that conversation. But we also see that Sam and Jordan are kind of bonding on a bigger level now. And I'm like, what's happening? And when he leans on their shoulder, I'm like, you better get off.
No.
That's Marie's shoulder. Get off Marie's shoulder right now. That's Marie's. So that's just me. I'm like, what you doing? Because if I'm in the room, right, and somebody lean on my shoulder and somebody I talk to walk in, they're gonna be like,
and I'm high.
What's this here? They're not gonna be like, oh, hey guys. So they're gonna be like, I didn't know this was like, it's just a movie, like, nah, cut.
Exactly what you think.
Yeah. Ain't gonna go well.
No, I'll say this about it. I hated it. Now that we're talking about it. I hope that doesn't become a thing. And remember, Jordan is now the #1 hero at this school. So, popularity contest, Sam, vulnerability, again, potentially Marie turning to the dark side.
Yeah.
These relationships are going to be so immersed, and it's going to be a high school soap opera all over again. And I do not want Jordan and Sam at all. Nowhere near each other.
I didn't even get that vibe. I just thought because they were both just, hanging out, dealing with
nobody's
trauma.
ever hanging out on this show.
When you see one person put the head on the shoulder in a vulnerable portion of the conversation, and they're getting lit, and they're sharing secrets, and mind you, Jordan's being vulnerable with someone. It's not Marie, it's with Sam. So the walls are down, and when that happens, hit the bow chicka wow wow music, because that's probably what's about to happen.
I thought it was strange because wasn't Jordan in the guy form at first, and then then that happened, and he was in the girl form, and I was like, that's interesting. That's an interesting change right now. We'll see. But hey, I don't know. We didn't write it. We're just watching. So
we didn't trust us. We didn't write this. We did not write
what's
this.
happening. I'm just talking about it. So as the episode kind of progressed and we're starting getting closer to the end of this third episode, we see that Thomas Godolkin Day is now begun. Even though he was a total racist asshole, nobody knows about that. And Marie and Jordan finally meet up when Jordan is about to get announced as being #1 in the polls at the school, right? Because the rankings are a huge thing still, like we talked about. And Jordan kind of says, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and we know what our future lies together. And I just want to let you know I love you too. So I thought it was very sweet, very nice. And then Jordan decides to really just tell the truth and air everything out on stage when he's given this platform to really talk to everyone. He exposes that Andre is dead, how he really died supposedly, and then also he kind of goes off the rails a little bit, kind of telling too much of the truth. I'm like, you could have did that part but then done some more, but there was no type of it felt like a setup, because there was no type of way or any type of PA people in the background about to turn off his mic or anything. They were just like, let him go, just let him talk. And Cipher was just back there just looking at Marie, looking at him, and I'm like, oh, seems like a setup at this point. And finally he tells the whole entire school body and the people that are there that it wasn't the Starlight supporters that attacked Cate, it was him and Marie. Oh no, it was him.
Just said him.
Sorry. No, he said himself. Sorry, or their self. And Marie's looking like, whoa, what is going on? Why would you do that? The only thing I wrote in my notes after that was cook the goose. That's what I wrote. I was like, yep, Jordan's cooked, man. That he was #1 for a day. Where do you guys think is gonna go after this for Jordan's future at Godolkin? I'll start with you, Stevie.
I have no idea. I'm wondering if this is some part of some plan or idea that they have.
Hope so.
Because I have no idea why they would say all that. I don't know what's gonna happen to them. Maybe they get kicked out. Maybe that's what they want. I don't know.
Maybe, honestly. I mean, everybody just seems to have their own individual plan that they're not discussing with each other, except for Emma. What do you think, baby?
I'm exactly how you said it. I think everybody has their own agendas. I think Jordan finally has this ability to want to bond with people, and with obviously Sam and his they're saying I love you to Marie, but I'll get into that in the later episodes. But I'm just really interested to see if who's gonna turn, right? Because I hate Cate. I hate Cate.
Yeah.
So I want to see if, as the season goes on, somebody turns besides Marie, in my opinion, where they're the new villain, so to speak, because they don't want to be ostracized anymore. Because now that Jordan, it's like Black Widow letting know everybody that S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra and everybody did all this stuff in Captain America. And it's one of those things where Now what's going to happen when all the chips hit the floor? So who's to say? But maybe they get suspended. Maybe Jordan gets kicked out of school. Maybe Sam fights Jordan, then they fight to the death. I don't know. But I'm just glad things are out in the open. And one thing I will say I want more of, and I think you hit it, Cam, earlier a while ago, is I want to see what we do with Andre's memory the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the thing that brings everybody back together for Andre, right? For Avengers to assemble, like you said, Cam. So I'm wondering if they'll all walk their separate paths, and then end of the season, they come back to each other like some weird Breakfast Club situation, and then they just take shit to Godolkin U.
Yeah.
The final battle against Cipher.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be very interesting. Yeah. I'm excited. I think these first 3 episodes definitely set a tone for how the season is going to go, and I think a lot of people at home are probably going to like it just like we did, for the most part. But everybody at home, make sure you check out Gen V Season 2, premiering September 7th. It's a 3-episode premiere coming only to Prime Video. Damien, where can everybody check you out at, man?
Find me at Twitch at twitch.tv/DamienG Show, youtube.com/TheDamienG. And if you are subscribed to Big Gold Belt Media, you can look up our reviews there.
How about you, Stevie?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at @isthatstevie, and also on Twitch as well under that same name, Is That Stevie.
What are you streaming now, Stevie?
Nothing right now. GTA. I started streaming GTA.
That's because you're gang affiliated. That's right. You said you were gang affiliated now.
Going on the sets.
I mean, a nice little business there. So yeah, and crashing cars.
Yeah, we gotta check it out now.
It's very fun.
And everybody can check me out at Cam's Collection and Just Cam for now on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. Guys, if you like content like this and want to see more videos just like this, make sure you check us out at biggoldbeltmedia.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button to be the first ones to check out new media that we drop on a day-to-day basis. Until next time, peace out.